欢迎各位来宾回到2013年绿色贸易国际研讨会系列绿色市场与绿色消费下午场。那下午场将由经济部推动绿色贸易专案办公室副执行长温立奇博士担任主持人。Let's welcome Dr. 立奇温。
Okay, welcome back to this afternoon's section. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Li Qiwen. I'm Deputy Director of Green Trade Project Office. And today we are honored to have 4 speakers to share with us the experience on green market and green consumption. Green Trade Project Office is trying to find out all possible ways and successful stories in the world, introducing to us not only to green our life and green the world by our green supply chain. So we would love to seek out the partners who share the same view with us and work together in this international green platform. So this afternoon, we still have 2 speeches, and each speech will have 45 minutes. We allow question and answers, and we will have discussion sections together after our coffee break. So if you have questions, please write down and hand it to our staff. Then we can have a more discussion in our Q&A section. And so in the beginning, we are really honored to have our Professor Ghosh here from India, introducing us the green products and the services in India. And Professor Ghosh, he is a professor and head of mechanical engineering and the founder, coordinator of the Center for Quality Management System at Jadavpu University in India. He has been working intensively on waste management issue for protecting environment. He has also trying to popularize the implementation of small plants of waste to energy in industries. He has been the director in the Ministry of Labor and Employment, Government of India. He has a significant contribution in the area of rural and unorganized sectors. Professor Ghosh has 9 books and 22 edited volumes. He has more than 65 papers in national and international journals. So Professor has been the principal investigator of more than 20 research projects. He has done a lot, too much to name it in 5 minutes. But he has been recently awarded the Distinguished Visiting Fellowship by the Royal Academy of Engineering in UK. And so we are really honored to have him here. So let's welcome him and let him speak by giving him a big hand.
Okay, thank you. Yuan Z Yao Singh. Thank you for your invitation. Good afternoon to all of you. I just tried to have my language in your local language, Chinese and Taiwan. It's my pleasure to be here, and I feel honored to be invited to be with you all for interaction and my learning. You know that green product and services in Indian market, when a year back we discussed with Chiku Chain on this issue, we were really thinking how to proceed on this area for a collaborative efforts between India and Taiwan. I am happy that the International Conference on Green Consumption and Green Procurement by Green Trade Project Office, Ministry of Economic Affairs, Taiwan, is now held, and I am privileged to be here. Thank you very much. I will now divide my topic of interest into the introduction, category of green products and services, Taiwan share in green product, evolution, how to make products and services green, scope of GPS green product and services business in India, top 20 green products, green building cases, and conclusion. You know that very important thing today is throughout the world there is a wave that you must be green, otherwise you cannot survive. This is the message to all the people of all age. I mean, not for the kids or not for the old people, but for everybody. This is the message that if you are not green today, if you are not converting yourself into the green, then you will be nowhere tomorrow. So in that way, India, you know that this is one of the biggest country. We have got 110 crore population. 110 crore means it is 11 billion people living in India. And today, most of the developed countries are putting eyes on the business in India because it's a huge market. 10 years back, 15 years back, it was not like that. But today, people are interested because previously the Indian people, if you consider 15 years back, people were not very much conscious about the quality of the products, environment, and safety. But today, it is by international pressure, it is by our own legislation in the country, it is from within ourselves where we really want that we need good products, we need good services, and we have to work environment friendly. Because you know that if we talk about Delhi, Delhi is a capital of our country. 10 years back, all the buses, the private transport, were working on diesel and petrol. Then we enacted lead-free fuel. But after that also, we have seen that the pollutants level, carbon dioxide, lead, sulfur dioxide, carbon monoxide, these are taking to a greater level that even if any time from 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock in the night, if you walk on the road in Delhi, your eyes will be irritating. So as a matter of fact, we enacted one law which tells that for each and every vehicle, public vehicle, it should run not on liquid fuel, but it should run on gas, CNG and others. So as a matter of fact, the pollutant level has come down to a greater extent, and the life has become better. The system has become eco-friendly, and environment, flora, fauna, trees, everything is surviving nicely. And 3 years back, the same has been adopted in many of the cities, including I live in Calcutta, so in Calcutta also the same thing happened. What is green product and services? Okay. What is green product and services? In simple word, the product which doesn't have impact on environment. Any product which doesn't have impact on environment. What is impact on environment? If from the product, the inception of the product to the disposal of the product, if it has effect on environment, like if it creates, if it burns carbon, or if it creates carbon dioxide, if it generates sulfur dioxide, if it has hazardous effect on environment, hazardous effect on the people, and also whenever you are disposing, the disposal also does not affect the soil, water, and blah blah blah. This is we call green product. And today the green product has also been extended to the production process. We are now working on green manufacturing. Like if even in some of the countries, if you just go to a building, you will find that the whole building is very warm in the winter. You go to any of the corner, you will find the temperature, when the outside temperature is 2 degree or 1 degree, the temperature at any of the corner in the building is maybe 18 degree or 17 degree. Is it necessary? Is it a luxury? So these are the questions which comes to the mind of the people who are surviving in not in eco-friendly manner. But the question is, can we provide this type of environment? Can we provide a product which can enhance the capability of the people who are working in worse environment? The answer is yes. Now, whenever we talk about green product and green services, the first and foremost thing we have to look into is some of the points like less detrimental to human health. It may be formed or part formed from recycled component and be manufactured in a more energy conservative way, or be supplied to the market with less packaging. You know that there are a number of products. I didn't have the photograph now. You unwrap the product, you don't know what is inside. You unpack it, oh, there is another pack. Again unpack it, another pack, and maybe after taking 5 pack unpacked, then only you get a good scent or the product itself. Is it necessary? No. It's just not the green consumption. It is not for marketing also. It is not a marketing tool today. Your 1 pack, good pack, is enough for marketing. Not that 5 packs inside, and as a matter of fact, the cascading package doesn't add value to the society. The cascading package doesn't add value to the product itself. So as a matter of fact, green product, green manufacturing is not a buzzword, but it is simply how you look into it. So that particular product can be made green product by reducing the product, by reducing the packaging itself. So we'll just look into it. Mainly, one is qualities that will protect the environment, and the other replace artificial ingredients with natural ingredients. These two are the basic thing for green product. Oh. Oh, that's good. This is all right. That's all. That's all. Yeah, I'll use it. Sorry. You know that there are 5 categories for green product. Number 1 is energy from renewable resources. I mean, today the fossil fuel is being reduced, and there are a huge amount of untapped sources which we are not utilizing for generation of power. So as a matter of fact, the first category is energy from renewable sources, electricity, heat or fuel generated from renewable source. The energy source includes biomass, geothermal, solar, ocean, hydropower, landfill gas and municipal gas. And you know that each of the technology in each of the area are available throughout the world. So only thing is that, are we interested to adopt it? What is the second category? The energy efficiency. You know that this is one of the photograph of an Indian entrepreneur who has converted this cycle into energy efficient cycle. How? Simply, he has converted the engine as well as the fuel system by a battery. And today in rural India and also in the metro cities in India, you will find many of the ladies, mostly because they don't travel much, they use this battery operated cycle, and it is very efficiently working. So in that way, this is, but you know that most of these cycles or bikes are not manufactured in India even today. So this is one of the area where Taiwan and other countries have a big market in India. What is happening? It improves the energy efficiency. Energy efficient equipment, appliances, buildings and vehicles, as well as product and services that improve the energy efficiency of building and the efficiency of energy storage, distribution, smart grid technologies, and all these are in the group of energy efficiency. So in that way, we'll talk about the green building. Very recently in India also, we have made the Green Building Council, and in BIS, Bureau of Indian Standard, like a mirror body of ISO, International Organization for Standardization, we have made the codification for green building. And in India, we are trying to enhance the number of green building in India so that the energy efficiency is achieved. So the third category is pollution reduction and removal, greenhouse gas reduction, and recycling reuse. You know that this concept in India, the poverty line was very low, And you know that socio-economic condition in many of the places are not very lucrative. It's not very good. So in that way, reduction, reuse, and recycle, these three were in the culture of Indian heritage. So in that way, like say, if the newspaper which we take every day, usually we don't throw newspaper on the road. We don't throw newspaper on the bin. But what we do, we keep our newspaper for 1 month, and the recycler come, they take the newspaper at an exchange price, and usually they take say around 10 Indian rupee per kg of newspaper. It's good. That is going to the recycling of the newspaper. And you know that there are number of plants which use this old paper and makes the paper out of this recycling of this process, right? Similarly, plastic bags. We have problem in plastic bags, and of course I know very well that there is a problem in Taiwan also, and many of the countries the plastic bag is a problem. What we did it, we enacted a law, that plastic waste management and handling rule 2011. What is it? If you go to any shop, you have to pay if you use the plastic bag from them. And previously, you did not have to pay. So that's why anybody was taking, oh, put this into the plastic bag. But whenever there is an embargo that you have to pay for the plastic bag, then many of the people are not interested to take the plastic bag from the shop. And what they are doing, they are taking their own bag to the shop itself. This is one of the way of reduction of plastic bag. And still now, in India, plastic waste recycling is a problem. We are still searching for the ways how to develop it, because not only the plastic bag but also solid waste, municipal solid waste, the problem is the collection of waste. It's not the treatment of waste. So we are looking into the issue at least. So in that way, similarly, a product which has a lesser weight, which by its own can recycle, which can be more usable after its effective use, it is also called a green product. Because you know why? Because the resource depletion is lesser for that type of product. So in that way, in India, we now encourage a product whose life is more, whose disposal doesn't have any problem, and which can be used again and again. The fourth category is natural resource conservation. The product and services related to organic agriculture and sustainable forestry, land management, soil, water, wildlife conservation, and stormwater management, those are included in this group. You know that in some of the places in India, there's a good amount of rain in the rainy season. And today, rainwater harvesting is one of the very important area for business. So this is one of the area of interest for business in India, that rainwater harvesting system. And in some of the states, the rules have been in place that all the new building will have a rainwater harvesting system. In Karnataka and in other states it is there. So in that way, rainwater harvesting is also one of the area of concern for new business. And then environmental compliance. And you know that we have huge number of young guys who are the next generation. As I was referring, that there was a survey conducted by us which shows that 30% more awareness for the age group of 8 to 25 on environmental issues. But still, on new technology, on new environmental issues, there is a huge demand of training and consultancy in India. So that is also a major area of business for any other country who can have their business in India itself. I just took a data to understand what is Taiwan's share in green product. And it has been found, this is a 2012 October source. And you know that China and Hong Kong, you have an export value of 10.843. And US, Europe and Japan is lesser. But India doesn't figure here. That means you have a huge potential for making business in India. And similarly, this is September 2012 and January to September 2012, the same thing. Of course, it is increasing, but there is no, I mean, there are ample scope of Taiwan business in India on green products and green manufacturing. Because I'll tell you, in India, we are not in the very mature stage. We are just thinking to adopt green manufacturing and green products. So in that way, this is the right time of initiating our business. I know very well that there is a good market for Taiwan and some other countries nearby who have good business on IT sector, electronic sector. But in other hardware, we don't find any business from Taiwan in India with respect to the growth in business. This is just for your interest. Like we also had a look on Mr. Moon's slide. He started from 1992, the evolution, and actually it started from 1962 when some gentleman pointed out that why the pesticide like DDT is used without knowing much of the reason why he objected. And as a matter of fact, that in 1970 the EPA was formed, and 72 the DDT as a pesticide was banned in US. Of course, there was a cascaded effect in India also on DDT. We don't use DDT today. And you know that after all this, 1992, Bill Clinton signed an executive order 13101, which defines the green cleaning and forcing roughly 1 million organizations to switch to green alternatives. And in 2000, of course, after this, there was a very important issue that in 1996, a release of ISO 14001 standard. You know that 1987, International Standard for Organization establishes ISO 9001 standard, which is known to all, because you know that today the maximum organization number which are certified to ISO 9001, more than 10 lakh of organizations throughout the world. That is the most popular standard. But after the quality standard is in vogue, it took long time. In 1996 only, International Standard Organization for Standardization releases this ISO 14000 standard. What is ISO 14000 standard? It is a management system standard for environment management. I mean, it helps a lot the organization to act eco-friendly with respect to the supplier's activities concerned, with respect to the manufacturing organization within the organization is concerned, with respect to any environmental accident is concerned, emergency situation is concerned. ISO 14000 is a very good standard. And over. We are also, I am one of the member in ISO committee, TC 206 technical committee, and we are in the process of revising this ISO 14000 standard. Very recently the revision will come into play. And after that, in 2000, Bill Clinton signs Executive Order 13148. After this 13101, it expands the scope of Executive Order of 2000. 2005, Washington becomes the first state to enact green building legislation. They are much ahead of us. So in that way, the green building legislation in India has a trace of this standard and also the trace of UK standard, I mean BA standard, British standard. This is a green product navigator. How to go about this green product? This is not a standalone process. I mean, if anybody is really interested to make a green product, then it has to start from the conception stage, conception and design. Because you know that green product is not only the product quality with respect to the use, but green product is necessarily, it uses eco-friendly material for production. It has a lesser weight. Like one example for green product is replacement of polypropylene gear, replacement of metallic gear by polypropylene gear. It has longer life, it has lesser weight, and it has a high efficiency. So in that way, this is only one example. There are many examples that from the design stage, from the conception stage, you have to think that I am going to produce green product. What is the second point? Second most interesting point is, in the manufacturing process, least amount of energy will be spent. Because you know that more energy means more carbon footprint. And today, those who are environment consultant in Taiwan, I'll request them to look into one area, the water footprints. We are making the standard in ISO, and in next couple of years, water footprint will have a good market for the businessman, I mean mainly the consultants. So be prepared for that, and maybe in next couple of years we will be releasing the ISO standard for water footprints. You know, be very sure that carbon footprints, we are also making a standard, ISO 14067. But you know, for last 3-4 years, we are struggling to release the standard. It was not possible even today to release the standard. Do you know why? Because though we are crying for green product, most of the countries, even India, I'm sure also Taiwan, are not prepared to make green product. So in that way, this is the time, because once the carbon footprint standard is in place, you don't have time. There are some countries who will surpass you with respect to the business is concerned. Like what in the morning we saw that the green card. You know that the basis of green card will be after some time, even not today. What is the carbon footprint for a particular product? But you know that there is no standard methodology of calculation for carbon footprints. If this is the product, if you calculate today the carbon footprint of this product, and if you take to the other geographical location, the carbon footprint calculation will be changed. So as a matter of fact, the uncertainty in the calculation of carbon footprint is much more, and that's why we all 165 countries are not in a position to come together to publish that standard, because this is not accepted by everybody. So in that way, this is the time to make the country prepared with respect to the carbon footprint reduction, with respect to the water footprint reduction. Then the other part, if you are interested to be the green manufacturer, then the selection of vendor and GSCM. GSCM means Green Supply Chain Management. Because if you are interested to make your products green, then it is not only that you can make your process green, but also for most of the manufacturer, it varies from 30% to 70% of the processes which are outsourced, which are done by the vendors. So unless and otherwise your supply chain is green, it is not possible to produce green product and green manufacturing by yourself. So this is one of the area where you have to make. And green supply chain means not only your supplier should be eco-friendly. Green supply chain means, say a product, you are taking a product from China, the raw material. What is the cost of transport? Which transport mode they are taking? How much carbon footprints for that particular transportation? So in that way, it is not only the particular supplier who is making the material, but it is also the logistics support which has a lesser carbon footprint for that particular product. So then only we can tell that, yeah, your product is a green manufactured product. Recycling and reverse logistics. It's very important. I'll show you the next slide. You know that this is my inbound logistics and outbound logistics, and this is the production process. And we get materials from the suppliers and also the input information and other things. Quality output to the customer and then disposal. But you know that we were not concerned about how much heat we are spending in the process, how much water we are utilizing in the process, how much energy we are utilizing in the process. Of course, we know that X amount of energy is being utilized, but how much is effective? Why? Then what's about X minus Y? Oh, it goes in the environment. We don't have any system to tap that. But today, reverse logistics is one of the very important issue whenever you go for the manufacturing of green products. So in that way, you are to take the energy from waste. Waste doesn't mean that it is municipal waste. Waste, any waste. I mean, from each of the processes, you generate waste. But do you recycle? Do you throw it away? What is the value of the waste product? So in that way, in the green manufacturing process, the whole of the disposal material should have a reverse logistics. Either it goes to the production or it goes to the supplier, or the amount which can be utilized for energy, like say unspent heat. Unspent heat can be used for heating other materials, like a boiler in power plant. We waste a lot of heat. We must have a system, and the return on investment may be 5 years or even 7 years, but that heat must be fed into the system so that it is useful. Of course, transport with least distance, packaging, we referred, services, disposal, redesign, LCA, life cycle assessment. As I was telling, that we start from the raw material, even the source of the raw material and the disposal. And of course, the giant which will take the show in next 10 years on green manufacturing is carbon footprint and water footprints. How to make products green, we have just discussed. And then what is the scope of business in India? We have a rapid growth from 2002 to 2012, and we have a GDP of around 8%. And of course, now GDP is a bit lower, but we are also having a plan for 2012 to 17 to reach this 8%. And you know that this is a good hub for research and development for green solution. World's third largest pool of scientists and engineers in India. Innovation in technology, we have a number of research projects in different institutes who are working on green manufacturing. Low price manufacturing and services, and significant achievement in information technology, professional services and communication. Traditional knowledge and process, green innovation and high amount of venture capital is flowing. Third attractive country for renewable energy investment. And we have also some more thing. Most of the organization today, the corporate organizations, they have their CSR in place, and it is enacted that 2% of the amount earned has to be spent on CSR project, corporate social responsibility project in India. And consumer and employees are becoming increasingly conscious on environmental issues. Today, in the organizations, many of the organizations in India, previously they were shouting for salary, but today there are examples that they are shouting for good environment inside the factory itself. So that shows a better environmental friendly atmosphere is wanted by the people in the organization. And you know that national policies to promote green business, like energy conservation building code, as I was referring, 30 to 40% reduction of energy, solar mission, clean energy funds, REC renewable energy certificate, energy efficiency certificate trading scheme, corporate social responsibility, and there are number of schemes which enhances the green manufacturing and green products initiative in India. Government support hybrid and electric vehicles, and policies which reduce the harmful goods, international carbon market, CDM, wind power, biomass, these are all there. Then you know that CII, we have a Confederation of Indian Industries, they are also promoting the green business in different parts of the country itself. And yeah. This is the GDP rate. Of course, it was a bit low, but now it is going up. These are some of the green products which are very popular in India now. And so whoever are interested to have the business in India, they can just think of it. Solar energy, recycled paper, recycled glass, recycled tin, rainwater which is stopped and purified, stored and purified, recycled plastics, biofertilizer, wind energy, geothermal energy, recycled steel, biodiesel, biogas, water heated using solar water heater, emergency light which runs on solar energy, recycled mobile, biomass and biogas plant, gasohol, natural gas, equipment consuming lesser energy, engine emitting lesser amount of gas. These are some of the products area. But there are a number of products, I mean at least 400 to 500 products, green products now in demand in India. I'll show you. Let me know the time. You know that there are some of the initiatives which have been taken by the Indian. This is Herbal Hero, a person who makes different types of organic products out of the hubs, right? This is also fall under the green manufacturing areas. Natural khadi. This is the dress material. In India, now the synthetic material, the market for synthetic material goes away. It is now the textile, the material which doesn't have any synthetic portion is encouraged by the people. So in that way, a huge market in India for this clothings. Yeah, this is addition. It's not there in the. This is a person who is making wealth from waste. So all the waste he is collecting and then making different types of material. Then this is a good business in India now. Eco-friendly resort. You know that just 1 week back in Hyderabad, I went to a place where around 100 acres of land they are utilizing as a resort, and number of different types of plants are there, including the herbal medicine they are making. So this type of business is now on the hop in India. I don't know whether you are aware of this type of business, but clay cooling is a clay pot. This is a good business in rural India, and both of these different types of shapes are given. And you know that consumer products, green consumer product is in huge number in India today. Even the that skin, any therapy for skin and other, people are now interested on green product. So in that way, this is a good business. Many people are doing now. Not this. And you know, one very important which I like to mention in India, that today there are some bank, Yes Bank and some 1 or 2 bank, who are encouraging green product. They are giving incentive to give the loan for the business of the green product. So in that way, the loan processing time is also less, and the interest is less than 1% for general product. So in that way, they are also encouraging for green product. And of course, these are all dry materials, which has a huge market in this bamboo and other things, canes. And this is a cooking system. You know that in rural India, there are we call it chullas, right? So now it is being replaced by the mechanical system and sometime electronically controlled. That has a huge market in India, and many of the this material are also coming from outside India. China, number of products are there in India today. Telecom sector as a big business. You know that in DOT, Department of Telecommunication, expects 75% of the rural tower and 33% of urban towers to become environment friendly by 2020. Huge business in India and huge scope, and we are not ready. We are not ready in India. Telecom industry and other industry, I'll tell you. Automobile sector, huge demand of green products in automobile sector. And the third is, and the last, this airport sector, aviation. You know that huge number of airports is now constructed in India, and all this, the customers of airport are very much fond of green products. So in that way, that is also a huge market in India. So with this, I should green building. I'll just keep this slide here. And yeah, the last slide, I must thank you.